What's up YouTube, my name's Albert Aldridge, the nutrition coach, and in today's video I'm going to be telling you how you can make healthy food actually taste nice. First of all, I'm going to quickly introduce myself to those of you who are new, give you my physique update, just briefly explain how my physique is looking and has changed since doing more CrossFit training as I'm progressing towards the CrossFit games in roughly 8 to 10 years time, and then I'll move on to explaining how you can make healthy food actually taste good and not bland. So to those of you who are new, my name's Albert Aldridge, I'm a nutrition coach. I train people with my online nutrition consulting, and I also do one-to-one personal training sessions here in the UK in West Sussex, and I also do nutrition coaching in West Sussex for people face to face. With my nutrition consulting and my YouTube videos, I'm basically teaching people and educating them how they can lose fat, tone up, gain muscle mass. I'm not talking bodybuildery muscles if you don't want to be huge, but you can put it in a bodybuilding context. So you can lose fat, tone up, get big, or just get toned around a healthy lifestyle, having a good relationship with food, still including the foods you enjoy eating every day like chocolate, biscuits. You can still drink alcohol. So the fat loss diet is an enjoyable one, and it almost feels effortless because you're not having to worry about sticking to a rigid, bland nutrition plan. If you haven't done so already, go down below this video, hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload a video, because these videos are always designed to inform you / entertain you at the same time. And obviously, if you're an old subscriber, I always appreciate your support because you motivate me every day by just watching and by commenting in the comment section below. I've been doing CrossFit now for roughly a year and a half, or just over that. I've still been including my bodybuilding routine in with my CrossFit training. I haven't actually joined a CrossFit box yet, but with my CrossFit training, I watch people online and adapt my training to become a better athlete. So eventually, in roughly 8 to 10 years time, I can compete in the CrossFit games. So there's been a lot more emphasis on weighted pull-ups, and I'm starting to master the art of handstand walking as well as handstand push-ups all the way down. I've been doing a lot more back squatting and front squatting. Front squatting definitely recently, which I think definitely has helped to develop my delts quite a bit. Definitely the width of my back. I haven't included so many deadlifts into my routine. I probably took a break from deadlifts. I hadn't thought about to take a break from deadlifts. That just naturally happened, and I did that for maybe even 9 months, I think. I reintroduced them back recently, doing them once a week, pretty heavy but with good form. So that's going to help bring up my lower back again. But I do think my delts have come up. And apart from that, my physique hasn't really changed. It's just slowly progressed as my body weight has increased. And I've done it very slowly in a lean bulking way so I can remain lean, still remain strong, keep progressing on my strength and be aerobically fit at the same time. Thank you always so much for watching, you guys. It really does motivate me to make videos. I hope you enjoy the rest of the video and stay tuned till the end. Right, now I'm going to tell you the first way you can make healthy food actually taste nice. FYI, I've just finished a day of personal training and it was the most horrendous wet weather today, but the gazebo managed to protect us during all the sessions from the driving rain. Just about managed. If you're somebody who's trying to wean themselves off eating junk food regularly, you might be somebody who has a takeaway every other day, perhaps, so Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, and you're trying to bring that down to just once a week or once a month, then what I recommend you guys doing is trying to make healthy food taste like the junk food you're used to eating, and then eventually you could take this junk food away. It sounds like a bit of a strange method, but honestly, there is a method to my madness. For example, if you like to have sweet and sour chicken from the local Chinese takeaway, I'd recommend you have a healthier stir fry or just a healthier version of the dish using the same flavours. With the sweet and sour chicken from the takeaway, what they're most likely going to do is cook the chicken in a lot of olive oil, probably put some sort of batter coating on the chicken which goes into the sweet and sour dish. So again, you're having to deep fry the chicken to cook it. You're putting it in this batter, and most likely they'll probably put some other sort of high calorie, I'm trying to think, To make it taste really nice, they probably most likely put in a lot of sugar to contrast with the sourness of the sauce. And then obviously you've got to think about what you're having with the sweet and sour chicken dish when you buy it from the local takeaway. You might have some sort of deep fried spring roll which is really high in calories. Instead, what you can do is make the dish yourself. Purchase some lean chicken breast from your local supermarket, and generically lean chicken breast weighed cooked is about 141 calories per 100 grams. What you're going to do is get the chicken, then you can either cook it in a pan or cook it in the wok. Then to really add volume to the meal, stir fry veg. More veg though that tastes on the bland side compared to veg which is very pungent in flavour, or that has a very harsh flavour, because if you don't like vegetables then that's going to put you right off. I'm talking about things like bean sprouts. Green beans generally don't have too much taste to them, so add them to the pan with the chicken breast once the chicken breast is cooked. Then I'll add a lot more volume to it. Then you could add some rice to this as well, because I do find, in my opinion, that rice fills me up a lot more and you can get a lot more volume of rice compared to something like egg noodles. Then put them all together, put them in the pan. You can even get some things from the supermarket. I think that adds even more volume to it. It's like a specific type of thickener. I'll put a picture up of it if I can find it. But really just go for more natural food sources, and then find from your local supermarket. You can either make the sweet and sour chicken sauce from scratch, so you know exactly what's going in it and you know exactly what calories are in the homemade sauce, or you can just buy a generic healthier version of sweet and sour chicken sauce from your local supermarket. And generally in the UK, I go to Tesco. They have the Weight Watchers brand, which is particularly low in calories per 100 grams. Still tastes pretty good. And Tesco usually do their own light version. Add that to the pan, and you've got a great tasting dish, which tastes similar to the takeaway you're used to having, but it's much healthier for you because you've got at least 1, 2 or 3 portions of vegetables within this meal, as well as a nice lean protein source. Keep that in mind, and here comes the second tip. The second tip I've got for you guys is how you can make sweet treats and desserts taste really good, but keep them healthy rather than unhealthy. Cheesecake is a classic example of a dessert which is very high in calories, because usually the cheese they use is a high-fat cream cheese, but instead what you can purchase, not 0% fat Greek yogurt, but I've come across something called quark, which is basically the same calories and protein per 100 grams when you compare it to something like 0% fat Greek yogurt, but it's much thicker, so you can use it as the main cheese for a cheesecake, and you can still use a biscuit layer base, which you can keep healthy, but I'm really focusing on the cheese use here, because I think Philadelphia per 100 grams when it's full fat could be something towards the 200-300 calorie range, but quark per 100 grams is more like 85 even, roughly that kind of range between 70 and 85, and protein is roughly 10 grams per 100 grams. And I'm not promoting that you have, say, a whole cheesecake in one go, because that doesn't promote a good relationship with food, but I'm just saying that you could have a lot of more protein and a lot more quantity of food for less calories and more cheesecake by using quark cheese instead of full fat cream cheese. Add the flavourings you want to as well. You could use 0-calorie syrups if you wanted to, or you could still use the normal flavourings you would use in a full fat cheesecake, but you've taken the calories away from the cheesecake by using the quark instead of cream cheese. Another good recipe is protein sludge with frozen berries, because you get the contrast of the frozen berries with the protein sludge. It almost solidifies on the berries like it's a chocolate hard layer, which is really good. All you need to do is get roughly 20 grams of chocolate protein. I like to use that, and even if you don't own a bag of protein, you can get it from your local supermarket. Then add 60 mils, and 60 mils I find gets a good thick consistency of milk, or you can use water if you're on a low amount of calories. And what you do is mix it up, then add the berries. Then I like to normally leave it roughly 15-20 minutes just so it solidifies in there, starts to melt a tiny bit, and then you get a really good texture with the frozen berries. It's not too hard to chew because you don't get brain freeze if you bite on the cherries. It tastes really good though. The contrast of textures and temperatures, because obviously the room temperature protein mixed with the frozen berries, it tastes really nice, and you eat it for a long time because it's frozen. You can't just engulf it really quickly, so you'll feel satisfied for a longer period of time because you're taking more time over your food. I really hope you enjoyed this video though. Thank you so much always for your support. That was just giving you a couple of tips about how you can make healthy food actually taste nice, as well as my physique update at the start. Thank you again. This is Albert Aldridge, the nutrition coach, signing out. I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video.